Hello, it's Kevin from JJ Hat Center. Today we're going to talk about how to buy a hat, how to choose a hat when you walk into a hat shop. This is a big selection, very huge selection of fedoras behind me. And you can see there's a lot. This is just one of our walls here. Most hat shops have just so much stuff. You walk in and you feel overwhelmed. Where do you start? Okay, this is how you buy a hat. First thing you do, they say, "Can I help you?" You say, "No, I want to take a look around." Take a look around, see what they got. Maybe some guy's going to rush you into a fedora and I don't know, maybe you're a cap man or a cowboy hat man or something. You never know until you look, Look around first. I think the first thing to do is get your size. Obviously, you need to know your size. You have somebody measure you up, try a hat on, get your size. After that, you want to think about brim size. You want a big brim or small brim? Do you want a hat or a cap? Do you want a western or a fedora, a dress hat? Think about style. Generally, I start putting some hats on, dress hats, and a guy will know instantly if I put a big thing on like this and he feels just ridiculous. I put on a smaller hat, I put something like this on and I say, whoa, that's way too small. I feel funny in this, so then we know I gotta go somewhere in the middle, maybe he wants something like this. And then he puts this hat on. Oh man, that band is really horrible. I want one of those old-time bands that looks like Humphrey Bogart, like from the 40s, So then after that, maybe we'll give him something else like this, and he'll say, okay, that's good, but the brim has to be slightly smaller. It's a process of elimination. You got to try stuff on. Very important is getting the right size. After size, I like to do brim size. Brim size, great. You got your brim size down. Kevin likes big brims. I've got a lot of hair and stuff. My curly hair kind of sticks out the sides. When I put a small hat on like that, it just, to me, looks kind of silly. I don't know, it's dumb. Kid Rock used to do the little hats with the brims up and long hair. I think that's just like a horrible look. Looks like, I don't know, Krusty the Clown look or something. So, somebody with lots of hair like me, who just, big afro, big face person, they're going to want more brim, generally. Maybe somebody's got a big face, fat face. They're a bigger guy. A taller guy doesn't necessarily need a big brim. He could be tall with a very narrow face. So you need a brim that will balance out with your face. Doesn't mean that there's one brim that's right for you. There's a window. There's a window. This, for me, I like between 2.5 inch and 3 inch. I can go down to a 2, but it's not really my thing. So, I know what I like, the 2.5 inch brim look, the 3 inch look. Okay, so after brim size, you might want to talk about dark and light. For instance, the hat I'm wearing, I call this hat, Tri-City, I think. Okay, this hat came in 2 colors. I like both colors. The light color certainly is more dramatic. It looks more custom. It looks more, expensive. Like, whoa, where'd you get that? Like some sort of celebrity kind of thing, whatever, custom made. The black one is not as dramatic, but I thought it looked better on me. It looked better with my dark coloration, my dark hair. I tend to wear black a lot, black with jeans and stuff. This just might be a cool second hat. The black with a wide brim can be problematic sometimes. A lot of times it'll look like a preacher or a religious hat or something, a Jewish hat, like a rabbi hat, if you do a black hat plus a big brim. So you're doing a big brim, it's good to go other colors other than black. And if you like black, don't do a huge brim in a dress hat, unless you want the rabbi look, which is cool, if that's your look. Getting back to color. There's some people that'll look good in light hats, dark hats. I like to try both. If you find a style you like, try something light, try something dark. Gray is a great color for like everybody. Gray is fantastic. Black can be rough. It's a hard color. Gray is fantastic if you've got light eyes. Like me, I have bluish, kind of hazel, bluish green eyes or something. It's always great. Gray, sky blue, Kelly green, blue, aqua, things like that always work for those people. Somebody with dark hair, a hat like this, black, olive green, is great for somebody with black hair. There are no rules to this, obviously, but you know, that's a good tip. It'll help. Now, after color, what else we want to think about? We want to think about crown height. Some hats have high crowns, some have low, obviously. Now, if you go to a better hat shop like this, we can lower the crown for you, which some people are freaked out by. They don't really understand it, or sometimes they don't believe it, that if you don't like this hat, if you love this hat, but the crown is too high, I can just make the crown lower. Now, it's because this is a fur felt hat. It's a good, you know, it's like a $200 Stetson made out of rabbit fur, and I could steam this hat and reshape it when it gets out of shape, but using the steam is also good to customize it and change the shape. So if I want to take the crown and lower it, I simply hit this with hot steam, and then I just kind of push it down, lower it, lower it, lower it, let it dry, and then it's low. You want to do it so it's pretty. You know, you have to sort of break very gradually. And then the back, you want to take some of the back. But there's a good hat shaper, steamer in the place. They can lower your crown with ease. It's the most common alteration. Sometimes if you're a tall guy, a center crease or something that goes into the hat will bump into your head because you don't have enough depth. If that's the case, I like to use steam to raise the depth, raise the roof. So there's more headroom. See what I'm doing? Making that little bubble in the middle. So if you're bumping into that top of the hat, it doesn't mean that that hat is not for you. I can steam some more room there to get you more headroom so it fits you more efficiently. Another very common alteration, I guess. I mean, it's a 30-second steam-up job, so it's barely an alteration. All right, how to pick a hat. Got a whole wall of hats. We found their size. We found a brim that I like. Okay, let's get away from this hat. I'm looking for something else. Let's say I'm looking for something more classical, like a gangster hat or something like the 1940s. Try something on. And look at yourself, look at your face, look at the hat. Try to do different things with the brim. Brim down, classical look. Brim up is more what I call the player look. It's a more modern look, more 2017. This is a bit more gentlemanly or classical, more 1940s or Frank Sinatra. This would be a little bit more like, I don't know. It's smooth, it's very smooth. Now, as I wear this and I do things with it, it starts to look better. It looks like me. When I first put it on, it looked awkward. Now the green kind of looks good. I look okay at green. This is not a bad hat. Now, do I want to try other colors? Maybe. I'm looking at it and say maybe I'd like a 3-inch brim. Bigger brim would be good, but that might kill that gangster look thing. You start going bigger in the brim, it's going to give you a whole different thing. So yeah, this is a good hat right here. Let's call that 2.5-inch brim the Humphrey Bogart film noir look. Okay, now if I want to go for something a little bit narrower, let's say I don't have all this hair. When I wear my hair tied back, that might make my face, I don't know. Let's try a skinnier brim. This customer hair. So we're going to try a 2-inch brim. That was the Whippet. Stephen's Whippet has a 2.5 or a little under 2 3/8. So I'm going to go from a 2 3/8 inch to a 2-inch brim now. Now that's not Humphrey Bogart, that's the Sinatra. Frank Sinatra is a 2-inch brim. That's in Saxon. This is a very iconic hat. That's the Sinatra look. It's also like the Blues Brothers look, the Bronx tail look, if you do it in black with brown or something. That's a cool look. Remember I said I do a 2-inch to about a 3-inch? That's 2. That's as small as I like to go. So it's also like the film noir kind of thing, but it's more understated. So if a man's looking for something to go out to dinner and just doesn't want a big brim, it looks too costume-like, this might look a little more gentlemanly or understated. It also gives you that kind of, I don't know, Donnie Brasco, like Bronx tail look, especially in the dark. Gee, she's one of the great ones, one of the 4 good ones. You know, that Bronx Tale thing. It's that New York kind of look. 2-inch brim, Stetson sack. It looks very cool. Donnie Brasco and Rocky. Remember Rocky? Hey, hey. Oh, that's Elvis. Didn't Stallone have something like that going on too? Like, Adrian! Hey, Adrian! Hey, Adrian! Yo! You know how many movies I did like that? Anyway, this is Kevin from JJ Hats. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up and all that good stuff if you like what you're watching. And if you have any good ideas for subjects and questions about hats, I'm very happy to answer them all. Have a good one. Take care.